I do want to bring up the Luke Walton's last days question mark, your most recent column, how the Lakers strayed from their values and are now set to betray their coach. We sort of saw this one coming a little while ago, but is it over before it's over with Luke Walton? Is he done?
I mean, that's the assumption that everyone I've spoken to around the league and with the Lakers seems to have. There are people who've told me they think there's a chance Luke could survive this. It would take an intervention by Jeannie Buss, and it would take a pretty complete overhaul of I think the coaching staff. But at this point, I think what has happened is that the Lakers said they supported Luke. They said they were going to give him the kind of support he would need to succeed, even with LeBron James in town. And I think ultimately, whenever he needed that support, whether it was needing somebody to back him up when LeVar Ball swept in, or when Rich Paul was kind of working behind the scenes to kind of poison the well with Luke, I don't think that Luke Walton had that support, and it ultimately eroded his relationship with his locker room, and ultimately find him looking for work this summer. And I think that's where the shame in this whole thing is, because the Lakers made promises back in 2016 about what kind of organization they wanted to be after cycling through 4 coaches in 6 seasons. And Jeannie Buss said the most important thing was stability on the bench and identifying a style of play and building a culture. And those are all things that Luke Walton brought. And I think you can certainly take issue with some of his tactical acumen. And there's always going to be an expectation that when a team falls apart to the degree the Lakers have, that you just solve it by firing the coach. I just think that the Lakers have not really stuck by Luke in the way they said they would, when he's actually, for the most part, delivered on the things that he said he would bring to the table in terms of elevating the offense, developing the young guys, and instituting a culture. It just seems like things have fallen apart more quickly here than they probably should have.
Who's not back there next year? Now, we can talk about Luke Walton not being back there. But player, even with Ingram and that situation, you can't trade him. And then you got Lonzo Ball, you got Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart. Who's back? Who's not?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head with Ingram, simply because I don't think they're, one, I think they like him as a player and would like to keep him. So there's that. But 2, with his health, I don't see how any other team could feel comfortable trading for him, which is just really unfortunate, because he's a player whose value was skyrocketing before obviously the blood clot was delivered in his arm. He's due for that rookie extension in October. I don't think the Lakers can give him that. So really, I mean, everything is going to be dependent on how quickly he can get it back on the floor, what his health is, and then how this next season plays out for him, and how he is going into the next summer, and frankly, a year beyond that. But for now, I think he's definitely back. Everyone else, I think, it's up in the air. I mean, Lonzo Ball is an injury-prone second-year point guard who is going to have played sub-50 games his second year after playing 52 games as a rookie. That is not a good look. I don't know how much other teams are willing to give up for a point guard who you don't think can play 50 games. Josh Hart has not been able to knock down threes and has had his own injury issues. The one guy who I think has some trade value is Kyle Kuzma, and he's the guy who's probably played the best next to LeBron all year. The problem is, I mean, nobody's going to think this is a good idea to just roll it back with LeBron and these young guys, and maybe a smattering of new free agents, new veterans on 1-year deals. I mean, that just simply didn't work. So I would fully expect that the Lakers, get busy trying to find combinations of those young guys that can net them some veterans on tolerable deals that will start to flush out a roster around LeBron, because I think the ultimate results of this season, they're 30-36. They're probably, they won 35 games last year in Luke Walton's second year at the helm, and I don't think they're going to get there this year. There's 16 games left. If they go 5-11, I'll be surprised. So they're going to take a pretty gnarly step back this year, and I think that will give Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, assuming they're both still here, a license to really tear this thing down and take a whole new approach, because it has not worked.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.